Hello, this is Kent back with the library and the orientation for the Higher Education and Organizational Change Group. It's nice to be back. Let's now take a look at the very specific areas of the library and why you might want to go there and do some exploring in the next week or two. Okay, we covered the service and how to get to the about the library, find the hours of the library, to find staff directory. We've talked about the chat button, the chat feature, where you can chat with the librarian, and how to contact us. And now let's take a look at a couple of the key tabs of the library website so that you can understand where we're going with each and every one of these. So we know that the red articles means that this is the active page, and we notice that upon looking upon it, that we have popular databases, federated search, and then we have browse databases, A to Z list, and subject list. This is the place to go to get to databases, this page, the default page. And what you would do is that you would use these databases to search topics, at least initially. So if you're in a class or there's a research problem that you have to go outside of your own required reading and you need to find articles, what you're looking for is you're looking for a topical area to search. This is the page you want to go to. You can do it in a couple of ways. You can do it through popular databases, which has a drop-down arrow and has a selection of several of the top databases around, including Business Source, Elite and Complete, Academic Search Premier, of course ERIC, the National Education Database, LexisNexis, an incredibly powerful database for all kinds of international publications. Of course, there's the LexisNexis law collection that you can search legal reviews as well as statutes in state and federal. ProQuest Newsstand includes Wall Street Journal, New York Times, Chicago Tribune, all kinds of outstanding publications. PsycArticles, PsycInfo, excellent database selection, actually two databases, for searching primary sources in research, and not just in psych, but in business and in tons and tons of education. This database will produce some of the best results for research. Sage Premier is an academic publisher, outstanding credentials, lovely stuff. Wilson Omnifile Full Text is a brand new database that explores broadly education, some business, a lot of humanities and whatnot. And then we have the EBSCOhost All Database and First Search All Database. You select those if you want to look at the whole list of the EBSCO products, and then you can pick and choose which database you care to select. So popular databases will get you there, and all you need to do is click on the go once you've selected your database. The federated search, I would say to you, you can try it. It tends to, it's a beta version. It tends to sometimes, though, not provide you as much depth as you think. What it does is it's software that searches several databases simultaneously, but the problem is, because of the way that controlled vocabulary within academic databases operates, you often are unsure of whether you've clearly gotten all the information that's there. So what I suggest to you is use federated search sparingly, and if you really want detailed information, know your database and search it independently of the federated search. A to Z list is everything that we have from on-campus and off-campus, A to Z. The only problem is there is no annotation with that, so you'll have to know what these databases are. And one thing I suggest to you, go through the list, click on databases and look at them. You will find that playing with this stuff is one of the best ways to get to know it. And then there's the subject list. This isn't my favorite, but it may get you started initially. So you say, well, which databases cover education? Well, you can click on education or business or whatever, and you can see a list that they recommend. The only problem with this, that all these databases are not the same. Chronicle of Higher Education is a publication that is not a peer-reviewed publication. eBrary is an electronic library, and of course you know what ERIC is. And ERIC has peer review as well as articles, as well as classroom guides and things like that, book chapters. It's a broad database in education. So all of these you have to get to know in order to use them effectively, and that's why you should play around with the system, okay? So that's the article tab. The one thing I will show you right off the bat is to get into any of these databases off campus, you must go through security, and security looks like this. This is a proxy server, and what it's asking you for is your last name and your 14-digit library ID number. And the 14-digit library ID number consists of the library prefix 2281100 plus your 7-digit student number without the B. So if your B number is 1234567, the library ID number would be 2281100123457. That's simple. That's how you know. Now, if you have a library ID or a university ID, I'll show you. If you click on the FAQs, what is my library ID number? And notice under here, how do I find books and articles? It will take you to a place that will give you some basic information. It's called a LibGuides area. But if we click on what's my library ID number, the first thing it'll show you is your ID card. It's the back of your card. It's the barcode. And right below that is your 14-digit library ID number. And that library ID number is what gets you into the databases. So once you enter the databases through that security, you are absolutely good to go. For the rest of that session, you'll never need to do that again. So you'll be clear and free. You can go hopefully effortlessly through databases and not have to be bothered by security questions. Okay, now what else do we have? We have tabs that say Book and Reserves. Click on the Books and Reserves tab, and here's what you've got. You've got the ability to search the Benedictine Library, our collection, our physical collection, and as well as our electronic collection. I'll show you what I mean. If I put in educational leadership, and I search it under title, my results page will come up, and look what we get, which is really beautiful. Anything with a red E denotes a fully digitized electronic book. Okay? So in this case, Educational Leadership for Organizational Learning and Improved Student Outcomes, if I click on this, there's online access, there's the URL. You click here and you go to the full text of the book. That's a pretty cool feature. We have actually close to 80,000 some books now in full text. So what that means is that we have fully capable of being able to provide you with current topical books in many cases for your academic pursuit. So that's a very cool thing. Otherwise, the results that are reflected are physical books that if we have in our library, you can contact Access Services or Circulation and ask them how you can get set up to have a book, let's say, mailed to you, checked out and mailed to you, and they'll take you through the process. You can search iShare, which is our large consortium. 76 university college libraries in the state of Illinois have agreed to share their circulated goods. So you can click on iShare, repeat your search, and you can find many different books. The ebooks, though, are very specific. If you don't have if you don't have access to the U of I, you can't look at their ebooks. So when you're looking for ebooks, keep it the Benedictine University search, which is default. If you want to see physical books, thousands and thousands of possibilities, the iShare catalog, go to that and search that. And this is the Browse the ebook area, and this is basically an area that shows you by listing different databases and indexes that we have that provide access. So look, we've got tons. We've got Springer, we have Gale Virtual Reference, we have eBrary, of course. Our largest provider of electronic books is eBrary, and all of this will make, when you need a book, when you need the background and depth of books, it's a remarkable thing. But even in your dissertations, you will find books to be totally useful. You can click on journals over here, and that tab turns red. And what this does is it lets us know, like let's say we do a Google search, or our professor says you get this copy of the Harvard Business Review and read this article on administrative excellence or whatever. And you say, fine, I have the citation, I know the title of the article, I know it's the Harvard Business Review. How do I find where that particular publication is, and if the library does have it, and so I can access it? Well, if you click on journals, you type in the name of the journal you're looking for, and then you click on search. And when you do that, you will get a listing of that particular publication. If we have it in full text, you'll see it just like this. And what it's telling us is that that book, or that journal in this case, is located in the Business Source Complete. And here we are at the Harvard Business Review with all the years available to us. So this is really beautiful. So then you can click on the year, and then you look at your citation and you follow the volume, the issue, and then you know if it's June 2011, you click on this, and now you have all of the June 2011 articles from within that. Okay? And another thing is quite possible for you to do with this is to search topics. If you're looking for an article in the Harvard Business Review, you can just click on search within this publication. You will then be searching the entire Harvard Business Review. You put in your topic and you'll locate anything that's there. So that's pretty slick. Okay? And that's under the Journals tab. Okay? That's the Journals tab. That's when you want to be able to search the title of a journal to locate where it may be within a database. And then you can link to that database and then search for your article. Library Guides is our tutorial area that we've created. This is created by the librarians at Benedictine, and it covers everything from the APA 6th edition citation, which is what you'll be using. So if you need help with the APA, that's a good place to start, to things called BU Basics, which is, how do I research a journal? How do I research a book? And almost every other place that you can imagine. And I have an ED page set up for for your particular group. So here's the ED and Higher Education and Organizational Change homepage. And from this, I've set up a list of different courses and created pages for those courses. I have research and tutorials, Higher Education Association, and I'm going to update the Learn in Your Library, which will be about 7 quick and dirty tutorials for how to approach a strategy of searching, how to use the Find It at BU Red Box. The Red Box is very important if we don't have full text, and all these things will be known to you all in time. Okay, so don't get crazy. You don't have to learn all this at once, but all of this stuff does exist, and you should know that in fact exists. The last thing is we do have streaming videos, which everything from American history to counseling to therapy, films on demand, and you can often find things within these that'll be very useful for you in some of your classwork. So let's go back to the library homepage. That's right here at the article page, and take a good look at your library. Use it, play with the system, and if you have any problems or issues, completely feel free to call any of us at any time. You already have my email, and you have my BlackBerry number, and the reference desk is a real good place to go for very basic questions or for in-depth questions. Take advantage of the fact that we have people on reference all the time. Hang in there, and I will be in touch with you very shortly about more stuff for you. Thanks a lot.